You've talked about, to a great extent, how all of these different churches have worked together. We as a denomination, as Lutherans, are unlike some denominations where each congregation thinks of itself as the church, and we're just this congregation, and that's the church. I think one of the gifts that the Lutheran World Federation shows us is the great benefit of all being together. Um, Can you talk? You talked a little bit about this, but can you talk a little bit more about what we gain from that experience of being part of a larger body?
I think to say it first, what we gain is an actual experience of the Trinity. It's an experience of the Spirit doing the Spirit's work, the mission of God beyond us, and we get caught up in it. Um, I think that writ in the largest sense, what Paul writes in the second letter to the Corinthians about the whole charter of the church is that there was a ministry of reconciliation begun in Christ. And that's what's entrusted to us. When we proclaim that gospel, it's about unity. It's about reconciliation. And while Pentecost shows us that the Spirit's going to create diversity, that's for the sake of beauty and proclamation. And our mission is about holding that diversity and unity. To me, that's the charter of the church. Now, as Lutherans, how we participate in that, um, this is why we say to be Lutheran is to be ecumenical. This is one of the first sentences in the LWF's ecumenical commitments, because our project is one of unity, where what binds us is this confession of Christ, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. And beyond that, we can live in diversity as we work out these questions. The only real question is what divides unity. And the LWF is a place where we can experience what that looks like to be in full communion with Christians with whom we have differences right now in any given
Mhm.
category. But that doesn't challenge the fundamental message, that we are about reconciliation. That's the gift that was entrusted to us. There is an African proverb that comes up a lot in LWF gatherings that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And it's undeniable that the sort of work and the discernment uh, of stewarding unity and diversity is slow, and it can be really hard, but that's because it takes relationships and it takes time. And the gift of the global communion is that we're invited into that. And we receive the gifts of Christians, of Lutherans around the world to help show us an example. Um, so if communion and nurturing diversity in unity is both a gift and a task, what we gain from the LWF experience is this gift of knowing that we're not alone, that everything has to continually be nurtured and cared for, because we see in the US that it can be squandered easily. And that's what's at stake today, is that these other issues, these other questions of politics or economics or race or gender become divisive to the point that it divides the very gift of Christ. And that is something that flies in the face of the gospel. And so seeing this work around the world of holding this diversity in unity is a source of hope for us too. And I think a lot of people in the American context, frankly, are struggling to see hope in these sorts of public conversations. And as Lutherans, we have something to offer.